Linda.
Okay. Sonia, you need the first presentation.
Yes.
Okay, let me just share my
It
screen.
says ALESBA course overview. Thank you so much. Great.
Sorry, I just want to make it in presentations here so there we go.
Please. Fantastic.
Okay, can you see it?
Yeah, we can.
Great.
And you can already jump to the next slide, Linda. So guys, I was thinking this might be common knowledge, but maybe at least let me start from the beginning. So the ALESBA stands for Adult Learning and Education. You know that adult education has been rebranded and we now refer to Adult Learning and Education. So it stands for, ALESBA stands for Adult Learning Education System Building Approach. So at least it helped us to have one word. So that is the ALESBA in a nutshell. The next slide, Linda. Okay, so I want to give you a general overview of the full course. I know we touched on this when we discussed during the country team meetings, but maybe a bit more detail. So I mentioned the course is broken down into 3 rounds with about a 4 or even a longer break in between. And the reason for that is it's because a lot of contents and we are quite convinced you need some breaks in between. So all over the course is 40 sessions and it will cover 6 of the full 6 ALESBA booklet. And it will run over the course of a year. So round 1, which is the round you are in now, of course, it's 14 sessions and that is 2022. So it runs from today until 15 December, which will be your last session. And as we said, not to stress, if you can't see it online will help you to catch up. Then round 2, which will only start in 2023, we anticipate around February because we know January is such a busy startup month for everybody. So that's another 14 sessions. Can people please, can you participants please mute your microphones if possible until you speak? And then, so there will be again a break between that of a month or 6 weeks before we do the last round, which is only in between or for each round. So each round of the course covered 2 of the ALESBA booklets, which means 2 main topics of the course. And in each round, we thought it's good to have some webinars. So if you finish, so for example, round 1, 2 booklets. If you finish the first booklet, we would like to do a webinar where you have an opportunity to share your learning insights with colleagues and anybody else beyond the course, not just the participants. Can you go back? Can you go back? Okay. So the webinars will give you a chance to share experiences beyond. Maybe bring your senior managers in, bring colleagues in to share what we have learned. So it's a time really to share our practical experiences and to build consensus with other stakeholders we would like to influence. So in each round, 2 webinars, 1 per booklet. It's just like a 2-3 hour webinar. The session is, each session is 2 hours and we will really try to stick to that because we know you're busy and running around. And the assignments, I'm also trying my best so that you get a learning experience, but it will not be so cumbersome that you become a course dropout. So the assignment is about 2 hours per week. Maximum here and there is a longer assignment when you work in a group, but we try to stick to the minimum. I'm wondering, can we reduce background noise? Can you please switch off the microphone? I see new people are joining. You are all welcome. Then yeah, we can do the next slide. I will give, I think, time for questions at the end. So let's do the next slide. what will be the delivery modality, and how will we assess the course? So all the sessions are live. I almost want to say internet provided, but all sessions will be live. And in the worst case, you can't attend, it's recorded and it's on the learning management system, so you can always go back and get it. We will invite guest speakers. There will be group work online and practical assignments based on your country context, so that you really have an opportunity to implement what you learn as we go along and try out things and feed those experiences back into the course. So Lindia and I have quite a number of things up our sleeve. We are going to try to make it so interesting that you will not be bored and you will say, oh, wow, have you seen the latest ALESBA video? So we will try to use animation, use games, things that will make things practical, but also keep you motivated to keep on with the course. The main course materials is the ALESBA booklets, but from time to time, there will be additional handouts, and all the PowerPoints will also be available on the learning management system. So if you want to go and do a session using these PowerPoints in your own organization,
yes,
you are so welcome. Okay. Method of assessment. There is no exam in this course, sigh of relief. It is all about whether you manage to complete the assignments, whether you manage to catch up the sessions. And so we will keep record Lindia, keep roll call of who could attend, who at least managed to catch up through watching the recorded sessions. We really just want to make sure you all get out of the course what you want. So it's not an intention of monitoring and examining, rather, can people get the best value out for all the effort they put in? And at the end of the course, of course, there will be a certificate. And I don't know if you know it, but you are the first group of African participants to go through the full course. And that also has meaning. It means you have a certain orientation, a certain approach, which is new in the field of adult learning and education, and we really hope that will give you opportunities both in your organizational context, your country context, but also your career context. Lindia, the next slide, please. Why did we do this course in the first place? The rationale, of course, to build the capacity of the course participants to undertake adult learning and education system building in your own country. So it's all about empowering you and giving you the tools and the skills to build adult education systems that can deliver services to different target groups. We would like to design and implement a conscious adult learning and education system building process across the 5 phases. ALESBA has 5 phases, and we will talk more about that next week, and give you an opportunity to involve all relevant stakeholders. We don't want a single stakeholder to feel I'm not part of the system, because we need every single stakeholder, all hands on board, to build adult education systems for the purpose of service delivery, so that people have access to the kind of classes they need to improve their lives. And it has to be for youth and adults with relevant and accessible modalities, with the necessary quality, of course. Lindia, the next slide, please. The course objectives. By the end of this course, we will hope you can explain and contextualize ALESBA as an approach and a framework that can guide adult learning and education system building. I always tell participants, ALESBA and system building is the same, but it's also different. Adult education system building is something all of you do already in your countries. Every single effort you are making in the organization you are working is already contributing to building a system that delivers a service, whether it's skills training, whether it's teaching at a university so that we have adult educators, whether it's literacy classes. All of that contributes to a system. And the ALESBA is just an approach that can guide you and give you tools to build the system, maybe in an easier way, in a more effective way, in a way that's alternative if you need alternative approaches. So we believe that at the end of the course, you will be able to explain and contextualize the approach as a framework that can guide system building in your own country. That you'll be able to design and facilitate the process of consensus building among the diverse stakeholders in your country, that it's no more us and them, but one group of stakeholders that build a system, from universities, from government, national, local, different sectors, from NGOs, CBOs, whoever joins should feel they are part of the system. That you will be able to design and implement assessments for both the demand and the supply side of a system. So we will learn more about tools and techniques to find out what our learners want, but also how does the system look at the moment? Usually we do the assessments from the learner's perspective, but we don't always do it to look at ourselves and how does the supply side work? How do we cooperate together? What are the blockages? Whatever challenges currently exist at the level of service, meaning in your literacy classes, in your skill training classes, it reflects back on something in the system that is a challenge and makes the service not to flow. So these assessments help us to understand our status, where we are. And from there, we can then, when we know where the blockages and the challenges are in the system, we can start to facilitate a process where stakeholders can consider alternatives to redesign the system so that we can be better service delivery. Once you've designed a new system, of course, you cannot roll it out nationally. So we will look at options to pilot and test the redesigned system with multiple stakeholders, whether it's for 2 years or 3 years. And from there to review it and to see what adjustments are needed. How can we upscale it then at in a greater geographical sphere or for more target group and have an improved system. So these 6 course objectives represent each and every single booklet in the ALESBA course. The next slide, Lindia. So the course rounds I already talked about. Round 1, 14 sessions, 2 webinars. And the first round is called the Introduction to the ALESBA and Building Consensus Among Stakeholders for ALES System Building. So it's the first two booklets in the series, the Introduction to the Approach and Toolkit, Phase 1 Consensus Building. Round 2, again, 14 sessions, 2 webinars. Remember, that's only next year, so don't stress. It's about ALES system assessment and diagnosis to consider alternatives for improved system redesign. So it will be the Phase 2 booklet, which is about assessment and diagnosis, and the Phase 3 booklet, which is about alternatives, analysis, and design. Round 3, which is later next year, final 12 sessions with 2 webinars to share our experiences. And that's about implementing and testing the newly designed system before we review it, adjust it, and upscale it. And that takes care of Phase 4, implement and test the newly designed approach. And Phase 5, how do you review the pilot? How do you make adjustments and how you upscale? The next slide. There we go. So let's look a little bit deeper into round 1 in this 14 sessions that I keep on mentioning. So session 1 is the one that we are doing today. It's just about getting started and giving you a general introduction to the course. Next session for next week is about setting the scene. It will contextualize the approach to your country context and stakeholders. So it will be your opportunity to say, but in Tanzania, we do it like this, but in Ethiopia, etc. So it's your opportunity to provide the context. Why is this important? Because this context, we are going to pull through the whole course. We want to make sure we understand each other's context when we debate, when we dialogue, when we present, but also, as I say, the key opportunity is for you to have a place where you can practice and test. Session 3 is giving you a bit more background around how ALESBA started, but also the key concepts and principles of the approach that we will carry right here.
I don't know if you listen to everything.
Participants, please mute your microphones. And session 4 is a session not to miss. Participants, if you can by any means be in that live session,
We seem to have lost Sonia. I'm just going to check what happened to her.
For defining the scope of adult learning and education in your countries. Can I be heard, Lydia?
You're breaking up a little bit, Sonia, but it's fine.
Okay. Can I continue?
Yeah.
Okay, I try. I hope it gets better. Where was I? The session 5, define the scope. All of you come from different sectors with different services that's delivered. We need to see what is the scope of the ALES system in each country. So we'll go through an exercise where we can define it. What are the types of services? What are we focusing on? And then session 6, how do we apply this conceptual framework to that scope? Session 7 will introduce you to the 5 ALESBA phases and what each phase is about. And then at least you've completed the first booklet. So we will do the first webinar where we share this information with our colleagues, with whoever you want to invite, and we will also send out wide invitations and make it known so that people can share in this introductory module. Session 8 is then we jump to the second booklet in the course, Introduction to Phase 1 Consensus Building. And that will just give you an overview of Phase 1. Session 9 is how to do preparatory activities to build consensus among stakeholders. Where do you start? How do you go about? Session 10, what are the startup steps after you did your preparation? And session 10 still builds on that, where we will do a practical application of the startup steps. Session 12, we will look at analysis of all the stakeholders, their roles in this process. Why do we maybe struggle to build consensus among some of them? How can we bring it together? Session 13, how do we take consensus building through all the ALESBA phases? I usually tell people in training, consensus building is not a once-off process. It is a little bit like a marriage. You can't say after the wedding, I'm done. It's a continuous process of working on consensus. So the same happens to system building and sharing between stakeholders. Session 14 will be a conclusion of round 1. So we'll do reflection, we'll do a little bit of assessment, we'll talk about what's coming next, and we will end the year with a webinar on Phase 1, where we share again the experiences. Next slide. A few practical notes. I think by now you have all the times. By the way, when we did the country team meetings last week, we tried to find out whether it suits you. And I know for the Uganda team, it's difficult at this stage, but we will look at options as we go along. But currently, this is the time slot because this was the majority rule vote. And Lindia is so kind every time to remind you of what is the time for your specific country. So just keep that in mind. As I said, it's 2 hours. The assignments we said, sometimes you'll do an individual quick assignment. Sometimes it will be a group assignment, and we will try to balance that. On top of the assignments and the course sessions, we do what we will call office hours and support. So we will let you know between now and next week, when are the office hours? So if you missed the session and you watch the live recording and still you say, I don't understand this or that, or you got stuck on your assignment, even as a country team, this is the hours you can get into the session and ask questions, and I can provide support. So this is an additional component, which we hope will help you to catch up, or if you have questions. I already mentioned when the final sessions and the next 2 rounds are. And Lindia is going to take you through the learning management system, more information on that, and even Zoom, because the sessions are on Zoom, but all the course information will be on the learning management system. Lindia, the next, I think I'm almost done with my slides. Yes, indeed, there we are. So thank you so much. I hope you heard me with my half-broken internet. Please join the journey. We were joking in the country teams. If in adult literacy classes, some participants don't attend, we always send the facilitators to their homes to go and find them and bring them back. So we hope we can find a way to do that as well, so that you are just an absentee from time to time, but not a dropout. So please stay in the bus with us. We really look so forward to your contributions and sharing experiences. Thank you so much. So I'm going to give to Lindia to take you through the learning management system. Note down your questions. When you are in your small groups, your country teams, you can formulate a few questions that you can then ask back, and I will answer them all together.
Thank you, Sonia. Okay, so yes, I think everyone that's in this meeting knows how to use Zoom. So I'm going to go quickly through it. And I just wanted to point out one thing that we're going to be using at some point today. So all of us are very much aware of the mute and unmute button. I think one of the requests is that if you are not speaking to please be on mute, because the sound just interferes with whoever's speaking at the moment. And then, of course, we have the video on and off. In the side panel, you can see who the participants are that are online. And then also, if you want to be chatting as well, this is where you will see what what's happening in the chat room. To share your presentation, which is the next one here, highlighted in green, you would need permission from the host. And I think next week, maybe when we give feedback on our assignments, then some of you will be sharing some of the presentations. We are recording at the moment, which is the next one to the right there. Enabling the closed captions, sometimes if there is translations involved, that is generally where you can find some of the translations. One of the features I want to point out is the next one, which is called breakout rooms. Today, we will be dividing you into breakout rooms. And you can see it's the little square buttons at the bottom there. Once you click on it, we would have divided you into the various countries. So you would be able to choose which one to join. So just look out for that a little bit later on. And then, of course, you know, if you want to have a reaction, clapping hands, or I don't know, smiley face, but also to just raise your hand, that is what you would find in the reactions button here. If you have any difficulty with Zoom, please, you can reach out to me at any time. Yeah, but I think most people are quite familiar with how to use Zoom at this point. Okay, I'm going to go on to the learner management system. The one thing about Zoom is that the link that I've sent, that will be the same link that we will consistently be using every week, okay? We try to keep it the same link so that it's not, there's no confusion as we go forward. So we'll consistently, that's where our meetings will be held on that link. I'm going to be taking you through the learner management system. I think when I shared with you in the team meetings, I pointed out that this is where you will find most of the information. I've just got to find it. I'm sure I had it open. Yeah, sorry if you can give me one moment. I've just got to, I'm not sure if I'm still screen sharing. So let me just see that. Oh, here we go. Okay, I found that. Right, I'm hoping that you can see my screen at the moment. If you've registered on the IFWEA site, then you would sign in. You can see I'm going to sign in, log in at the moment. So this is going to take you right into the ALESBA course. Now, you would have needed to enroll. The first thing that you would have needed to do is you would have needed to register on the OLA site, on the IFWEA site, on the platform. And then the next thing you would need to do is you would need to enroll in the ALESBA course. And in the communication that I sent out, I think I've sent it out in 2 communications already. There's a link for where the course is, where you'll find the course, and there's also a link for how to register. Let me just admit Caesar here. Okay, so once you've registered, registered and enrolled, even if you're not enrolled, you should still be able to see some of the course material. This is what you'll find in the actual course material. Right at the start, there's a forum. This is where, if there are any announcements, if you click on it, you'll find if there's any announcements or discussions that's taking place. I'm going to go back there. I've posted our Zoom course link, so you can always, this is the course link that we'll be using throughout the course. That's where it's posted. And if you want to have another look at the full ALESBA course outline, it's over here. Next, you can see we've divided it into the various course session weeks. So for course session week 1, you can see this is the introductory session that we are conducting now. And here you'll be able to download the books, right? You'll be able, we also posted here the video of the ALESBA course launch. So if you go into that, you can see there's the video that we had, and you can access it and watch it. Let me just go back there. You can also download the books here. I think I linked the book somewhere else. And then, of course, sorry, I'm just admitting someone else. And then, of course, there's also the group work session. Sonia is going to be outlining the assignment today as well. So as the weeks progress, you'll be able to find the various other materials you can see under the next sessions, which are flowing under here. You should also be able to, once you've enrolled on the course, you should also be able to upload any written assignments on here and so forth. If you have not been able to, if you are having a little bit of difficulty registering on the forum, on the online learning management system, or if you are having trouble enrolling in the course, then please reach out to me. You can reach out to me in the WhatsApp, via WhatsApp, and then I can be sure to just see whether I can send you some links and help to coach you, assist in coaching you through that. It's quite an easy and self-explanatory system, so you should be able to find your way through there. So for next week, we'll be uploading the recording of this session, and we will also upload it onto the session 1, in the session 1 docs and resources. Okay, are there any questions around that? I'm going to stop sharing because I can't see.
Yes, I have a question.
Hi, Ocholo.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yes, thank you for explanation on how to interface with the platform. There is a place I think I tried yesterday while I was juggling around on that particular platform. And how do we upload whether it's an assignment? Because I think there is an assignment there, an individual assignment, whereby it requires us to upload it on the system, but I had some issues to do so, because I just need to know how do we do that, so that when there is an assignment and it is need to be uploaded, then we can easily upload it.
Okay, so at the moment there is even though I've written the assignment, I haven't actually uploaded the assignment on there. Once the assignment is uploaded, the platform automatically gives you a link where you can submit it. So I have not uploaded the assignment yet, because I'm not assigned as a teacher, but when Sonia uploads it, you will see that there will be a button where you can upload it. I'll also send you a link of how to upload an assignment on the course. So I hope that helps.
Thanks.
Okay, cool. Okay, if there's no other questions, then I'll hand back over to Sonia.
Great. Thank you, guys. I'm really so sorry that my camera's off, but I think at this stage, at least if my voice is on, that is better than nothing. And just to let you know, we take note of all the messages and the suggestions that's written. And Lindia and I, after every session, we will do a debrief and we will try our best to take your concerns also on board. So now I would like to share the group work exercise with you so that you can get into groups. And this is also your opportunity to ask more questions about both Lindia and my presentations. Lindia, do you have it? I can also try from my side. I have it, so I can share if that's okay with you. Can you see my screen? Lindia, is it okay? Okay, good to go. So the group work is the following. I would like you to go into your country teams, and for Southern Africa, that means Malawi and South Africa together. So in your country teams, agree on a team member, first of all, that will facilitate this exercise and somebody that will record it. Unfortunately, we do not have flip charts that we can just jump into. So let one person just take a note, because I know you are not all in the same place. But we would like a person, even if it's the facilitator or another person, to just present the group's perspectives in the plenary session. So this is what we would like you to do. It's a very small thing, but maybe there are new participants that's not been in last week's country team session. So just introduce yourselves again to each other by name, position, your organization. And I know this online thing is not always as warm as we would like it to be. So please feel free. I know all the people in these teams are very good at making jokes and be relaxed. So please pull those things into these online sessions. So introduce yourselves. And then we touched on it also last week, but I want to give you a proper opportunity to express your expectations and even fears you may still have about the course. Because we've today at least had a chance to share the screens, to give you more information about what is coming, although I know it was fast, but what specific expectations and fears may there still be. And the chance to discuss how you will work together as a team. Because from time to time, as I mentioned, there will be team assignments. And don't forget, we are looking at building systems in the countries you are living and working in. So this team to us represents the change makers, the catalyst team that will get the ball rolling. So how will you work among each other? How will you support? You
We've lost Sonia. I'm just going to see if we can get her back in again. If you'll give me one moment.
Oh, I don't know where I lost you, at what stage. My sincere apologies. Lindia, where did I get lost?
Discuss how the work will
How you will work as a team.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I'm sharing from my screen.
That's better and safer. Thank you so much. Guys, I'm really sorry about this. It was unavoidable today. So how will you work together as a team for support on group assignments, and also discuss what kind of support you will need during this course, and select a team leader or a coordinator. I know Uganda already did this, but we thought it's a good idea if there is somebody that can sometimes remind you guys, or saying, remember, we agreed on this day to do the assignment together. And if you think it's too much responsibility to have one team leader for the whole round, we are definitely not saying the whole course, you can even decide to do a shift system. Say so-and-so is team leader for the first 4 sessions, so-and-so will take over. And we are going to do this exercise for about 20 minutes. I hope that will be enough time. And so if you are finished and you have time remaining before Landia pulls you back into the bigger group, please just use your free time to get to know each other a little bit better. So it's a very informal assignment, or not assignment, sorry, group work. And I hope that will just get you guys at least into your country teams.
Okay, Sonia, I've copied and pasted just the assignment in the group chat for anyone who needs to follow. Yeah. I think we've lost Sonia again. Okay, so I'm going to put people into I'm going to open the breakout rooms now, and you will see that I created various breakout groups with country names. So please just join the country group that you are in. Sonia and I will be coming in and out between the country rooms. I'll come back.
Well, the thing is, they stop us automatically. Eh? Our time was
Sorry.
and then they stop
We
the breakout
tried
group,
to do a
and the
countdown
link takes
for
you back
that.
to the meeting immediately.
We try to warn you guys, but we will find a kind of a bell feature for this to call you back. Sorry, guys. It's just that it's getting late. So we will use what we have from you, but we'll give you another opportunity at some point to feed in. So are we okay to get some feedback from the different country teams? Shall we start with what, Uganda maybe?
People are still coming back. Okay, I think we've got everyone here. Cool.
Do we have everybody back?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Great.
so. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. As you can see, this is a learning curve for all of us, and I'm so happy I'm learning new Zoom features. I hope you feel the same.
Yeah.
And we are building our Zoom skills as we are going. So be patient with us, please. At least in future, we will know how to do all this breakout groups. And Landia is wonderful. She really knows how to guide us. So thanks, Landia. I'm going to ask Uganda simply because I know they had some pre-work done. So I'm starting with Uganda to give us feedback on your session. Just very informal, please, no stress, just do it briefly. Who is presenting for Uganda?
That would be Caesar.
Hello, Caesar. I see you are also out of context. You are in another place like me. Please continue.
Yeah, but at least within ALESBA, I am in context.
You are in context, yes. Please, Caesar.
Thank you so much, Sonia and Lindia, for all the support so far. We have been Team Uganda, and we have Unbound Kampala, Ministry of Gender, DVV International, and of course we have a student from Lila, who has been part of the group, Stephen. As part of our expectations, there are actually 2 And we are looking at acquiring knowledge and skills on strengthening ALES systems in Uganda. And of course, not Uganda, but even beyond. But we also, another expectation is to share experiences with other course leaders, course participants on the different ALES systems in their countries. So we hope that we shall be able to listen to presentations from different countries on their ALES systems. How are we going to work together as a team in Uganda? We want to use the WhatsApp group that was created by the team the course administrators to share updates, content, and everything that supports us in learning. But we also plan to have physical meetings where possible, so that we can do physical discussions on topics that have been, or assignments that have been given to us. But as well, because we are coming from different areas, we are also thinking of using online platforms so that we keep in touch as participants from Uganda. Now, what kind of support do we need from the course administrators? The members are saying that these platforms are new. Zoom is new to most of us, and then the learning management information system is still new. So we would request that we constantly, in every session you give us a tip or two on how to navigate through these platforms. And then, just like now we have had interruptions, some people are also not so sure on how to mute, when to, so controlling us somehow when we are learning, I think it will be very, very important. We also realize that we have some fears of the cost of internet for those who are up country, as well as connectivity. That might be a challenge, but we are saying we shall find means to navigate that. And lastly, our team leader is Imerida Charingavira from the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. Thank you so much.
Right. Thanks, Caesar, in a nutshell. And exactly, don't stress. We all share these kind of fears on internet, so we will really try to navigate. Thank you, Team Uganda. Let me maybe go through East Africa and then we travel south. So can we have Tanzania next? Who's presenting for Tanzania? And I know in Uganda, there was one Ethiopian participant. We will make sure that FETU and Kabeda connect through other means so that we also have an Ethiopian voice, so just not to forget you. But meanwhile, Tanzania, who is presenting? Tulia, please. Just unmute yourself. Tulia, unmute.
Hello.
We hear you.
You get me?
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Tulia. Thank you very much, Sonia, for giving this opportunity. We have discussed in our group. Our group has different people from different organizations. Some of them are coming from the Institute of Adult Education. Others are coming from the NGOs. We have different expectations. One expectation is to gain and broaden knowledge of ALESBA. Second, to get insight on how to strengthen our education system through ALESBA methodology. Another expectation is to get more, is to work as a team. Another expectation is to get different knowledge about ALESBA from different countries, as we are different members here in our study. Another expectation is to understand the financing model of adult learning. another expectation is to know the implementation of adult learning in ALESBA. And how will we work as a group? We are going to form a group, a Tanzanian group. After forming it, we shall discuss how are we going to work as a Tanzanian group. Again, sorry, I left two expectations, though I jumped to another question. The two expectations that are very most important again is to know the different partners who will work together with us. Again, is to know if ALESBA will enable us to enable people so that they can get 21st century skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, to take into consideration individual differences, analytical skills, and to make judicious decisions. Our fear, as we have seen today, the connection was very problem. So we have two fears: one, connectivity of online platform and the learning issues. Second, time limit, 2 hours. Is our fear again. The support we need during the course is the availability of offline recorded sessions, because some of us may not be there during the session. Thanks.
My apology. No, I'm also on mute. Thank you, Tulia. So we are now moving. I think East Africa is done. Ethiopia was at least the one participant was inside the Uganda team. So can we have the Southern Africa team? That means Malawi and South African participants together. Who is presenting?
Hi, Sonia. I'm presenting for the Southern African.
Hi, please do.
We have an interesting group. We have people from the CET sector, and then from non-formal, and then also formal. So it's quite a nice range of people. And the expectations, so we have Tandi Gumbi, who is from DUT, and her expectation was looking at how we can mobilize and using the synergy to have everyone have their right to adult education. So looking at a more unified way of working. And then we've got Mara Adult, who's Adult Learning Forum and also works at Elsie's River as a lecturer. And she's looking at how the soft skills can be developed with youth prior to them going on to do skills training, which is being pushed at the moment, so that the whole person's developed and that they can then be ready to be the next generation of activists for adult education. And then also looking at how the community can be included in the CLCs, that they become part of it and make it much more useful for all the socioeconomic ills that we are living through at the moment, that everyone's involved. We have Adrian Maxwell, who's working at a high school at the moment. He's a member of ALF, but he's also worked in the sector of adult education for many years. And he was looking at sharing all the experience and views from other parts of Africa to learn from that, and then also to use that to be able to do projects, deliverable projects, looking at in the community as well, also for the benefit of the community. And then for myself, I was all of those expectations, and also looking at with the unification that we can maybe impact on the policy of how there are new alternative ways of adult and youth education that could be used for developing people more holistically. And then we looked at our was the other one, was how we were going to work together as a team. We all agreed that we liked WhatsApp because it's so easy and friendly, and that we form a group, our own WhatsApp group, where we can share documents, videos, upload whatever we need. And then one person will collate all of that, and we'll rotate that so that everyone gets a turn, and that will be what's presented. And as far as support, did I leave something out? The support that we spoke about was that the people who are working in the community learning centers are finding it, or in adult teaching, are finding it difficult to be available at 2, because that's when they're doing marking and are in class. I'm not sure, and I know that you have mentioned that, Sonia.
Thank you, Ana Paula. I think that is all the countries for today. Am I correct, Lindia? Because Ethiopia didn't present. So I think I didn't leave anyone out. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. It's a lot of very interesting expectations, and I'm really excited when I hear it. Let me just maybe respond to some of what you presented. All that I can confidently say is that all the expectations around the ALESBA is part of the course. So you will definitely, those expectations will be met. The expectations around sharing experiences will also be met, but I can understand the importance of that. So we will try to find innovative ways, even beyond the 2-hour sessions, to see, can we create more opportunities for sharing? Because every system in every country is unique, and every system can offer lessons for different countries. You know how it is when you physically go and you learn. So we'll try to build that in, because having had the fortune opportunity to work in all the countries that are present in this course, I know there are so many things that we can share. So we will definitely try to work on that. The issues of specific topics around policies, specific topics around the CLCs, etc. Definitely, that will come in through the assignments, because the scope of the system in each country will be presented in the assignments. And so we will try to make opportunity to discuss those issues deeper. The ALESBA presents the ALES system as having 20 system building blocks. So financing, policy, all of those are system building blocks, and we are going to work through them one by one. We are going to see how they interconnect to make sure the service is delivered within the scope of the system of your country. So I really hope you will feel that is addressed. And luckily, if you talk about experience sharing, Ethiopia and Uganda already took a little bit longer journey. So their experiences, I hope, will also really help and boost the process when they start to share what is practically possible. I think I captured most expectations. I didn't find a single one that you mentioned that I wanted to say, oops, we are not going to do this. We will really address all of it, and we will see how to take up some topics even more. Your fears, sadly, I fear as well, because look at me today. I'm the one who kept on disappearing and didn't even have my camera on. So we will try our best. The videos will definitely be there. That is not even an issue. Lindia's doing that for us, the recordings, I mean. And the office hours, I hope, will also fit a number of gaps. And you are so welcome as your country teams to even say, Sonia, we are booking a session with you as Tanzania, or a session with you as Southern Africa. And we can see even to give in the office hours like a half hour only for that country. So we can structure the office hours in certain ways as well, so that you really feel you get. I want you guys to feel so comfortable, and we will try to be flexible. I'm aware of the issue of the time that Ana Paula mentioned, and also I know for Uganda this is tough, and Lindia and I are still looking at options to see how we can play. We want you guys to have the opportunity to intersect with all the 5 countries that are joining, but also to have more personal experiences. For example, today, I think, Lindia, we varied from about 18 to 24 because people had to leave, people came back. But from what we've seen with the country teams, it seems our course is about 25 people. So as a facilitator and Landia as the Moja platform representative now, we will look at options to see, could we sometimes have alternative sessions? The point is we are taking all what you've mentioned on board. Landia and I will deliberate next week. We will also talk to the Moja colleagues and see what we can come up with and give you more feedback already. I hope that's okay with all of you. And please, as we say, also use the chat function all the time. If you feel some of your points have not been captured, we try to keep an eye on that as well. But in terms of expectations and fears, I can say we heard you and we will really try our best to work around that. Not to go too far beyond the time, if it's okay, I would like to share the first assignment, which is a very simple, gentle one I'm trying, so that you guys don't run away after session 1. Lindy, I don't know if you screen share. Do you have it or shall I screen share?
I do have it.
Okay, maybe
I'll
later
screen
for
share.
just in case today. And this will be on the platform, but we can also meanwhile maybe email it as an attachment if people are still struggling. I'm happy to do that, to do an email to all until you are comfortable with the learning management system. So the first assignment is about being able to tap into the context, not of your country only, but also your organization and what you are bringing into this process and what you are interested. I'm aware, for example, if you built an adult education system in South Africa, there are different sectors who are all contributing. There is different types of services. So we want to get a sense of that so that we can already start the sharing and start to see where is the system going. So it is to explore the context of your systems, whether it's about literacy classes, non-formal skills training,
We've lost Sonia for a moment. Let's just see if she'll come back in. Let's just see if that's Sonia. Okay, let's just see what's happened to Sonia.
Am I back?
Yes, yes. Maybe you should switch your
Sorry.
video off, Sonia.
I'm going to keep my video
Okay,
off so
great.
that at least no fluctuating between the trees. I mean, I think. So did you hear at least the background? I said it's just mostly about it's to understand the context. So the task. I want you guys to go and look at the photos you may have, or if you are not happy with a single photo you have, please go and take one. A photo, just one photo. So this is an individual assignment, by the way. So each of you pick one photo that will communicate the delivery of adult learning and education services in your country. So obviously this is a photo in the context you are working in. So if you work in a community learning center, you will pick one photo, but it's not just any photo. That photo must communicate the kind of services that is delivered. It may communicate things you are proud of. It may be communicating challenges you want to point out. But when we see the photo at a glance, we should know this photo is representing a service. If you do, for example, FTCs in Tanzania, it could be a photo about that. If your focus of your non-formal ALES system is on agricultural things, it will be a photo about that. If you are in a lecturing or in the Institute of Adult Education and you train other adult educators, which photos? So don't just show us photos of people in workshops, please. Try to really say, if an outsider looks at this photo, what will the photo tell them? So just one photo. And then I want you to do only 3 PowerPoint slides. And here's the content of the slides. Slide 1, just write in the heading section the name of your country and your organization. So Tanzania Institute for Adult Education, and then paste the photo underneath that. So that is your first slide. The name of the country, name of your organization, paste that special photo. And I want you to really challenge yourself when you think about the photos. Then the second slide, only in 5 bullet points, present the following. So you literally will write a sentence per bullet point, and then when you present, you can talk to this, and we will have to have, unfortunately, a time limit, but we will try to manage that. So the first bullet point should, don't write the questions, only the answers or the statements. Why did you select that photo? So what do you want to communicate? So you will say, I selected this photo, or reason for selection, you will just tell us that. Second, what type of adult learning education service does it depict? Because maybe from the photo we are not so clear, so we just make sure. Who delivers this service in the country? Is it local government? Is it the university? Is it the NGO? Or don't just state your NGO. If your NGO and other NGOs delivers this as well, then state it. If it's a number of CLCs, state it. We want to get the scope of the service. So try to give us that broader scope. Who is the target group of the service? Is it youth? Is it adults? Is it women? Who is the target group? And you can also be a bit more specific. If it's school dropouts, whatever, try to explain to us. Where are they delivered, these services that is depicted in your photo? Is it nationwide? Is it just in selected districts because maybe it's a pilot or a smaller project? So where is it delivered? You can add information like it's rural, it's cities, but imagine you are talking to all of us and we are all from different places. So we want to understand in a bit more detail. So that's the second slide, only 5 bullet points that will answer to that. The third and the final slide, only 4 bullet points. Since when have the service that's in your photo, since when has it been delivered? Is it a long-term program, a new project? So if it's a long-term program, and for example, a government literacy program, you will say, oh, for the last 20 years. And then of course, we will pepper you with questions about, is it still the same, etc. But for how long? Or if it's a project, maybe it's since 2020 for argument's sake. So for how long? Then it comes to the modality. How often? Is it the kind of service that is once a week, twice a week? How often can learners access that service? Third bullet, what about this photo makes you happy or proud? So you look at it and you will say maybe, look how many learners are there. Look at this, look at that. What about the photo that you selected makes you proud about that service? And the last question or point, what about that photo frustrates you, makes you uncomfortable? I hope that is clear enough. And my assumption, Lindia, scroll down a little bit, please. My assumption is it will take you maximum an hour. If you have an old photo and you have to scan a little bit, or if you want to jump out and take one, but I hope this assignment will not take you longer than an hour. And it is, as I said, an individual assignment, unless in your team, there are 2 team members who work for the same organization. Then you can do it as a pair or for that organization. But from what I heard in the introductions, I think most of you are from different organizations. So it will be an individual assignment mostly. So it's just 3 slides following those guidelines. As Lindia said, this will be on the learning management system, but since we are still getting in the moment of learning all these new things, and we hear your requests, Caesar, and many others said, please be gentle with us as we are learning. So I think for the first round, we will definitely send this assignment as an email to all of you as well. So please check your inboxes as of tomorrow. The assignment is due by the next session, 6 October. So you can even try to do the upload, as Lindia said, but you will do a screen share, and maybe Lindia, I don't know, participants beforehand, if you are not so comfortable with screen sharing, check with a colleague or a fellow participants who know to do that. But we can also, as Cesar said and asked, and many others also indicated, we will share tips as we go along. So I think and hope that is a simple assignment for you, a quick one to get us started. So I want to wish you luck. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this different context. So I think we can stop screen sharing, Lindia, and then I just want to know if there are any other last questions before we close the session. And by the way, we are on time. Thank you so much for your group work that you did so fast. Any last questions?
Andy has a question. Hand is up.
Thank you. So the question, it's actually a comment that me and Zama, we work for the same organization. So for this assignment, we may be allowed to work together because obviously we'll be sharing the same one and the same thing.
Yeah, no, exactly as I said, Tandi, in that case, you will work as a pair. So you can debate, you're actually fortunate, you can debate which photo you pick and how you present. Yeah.
Yes. And also just to mention that we were the southern group, but we're only south because the Malarian people, colleagues.
Yes, that's true. No, that's true. And we will catch them up. Thank you for that. We will catch them up. Great. Anybody else? I think that is it, Lindia. So thank you guys for your patience. And I think Lindia have the last word, Lindia.
Please, if you could put your country and your name in the chat box, if you haven't already. We just want to be sure to know who was here.
Yes, that's our way of roll call. Put your name and country, guys, so that we know everybody's here. Thank you, Lindia. Good reminder. And honestly, you are part of the WhatsApp group. You are welcome to WhatsApp if you have more questions. If it is questions that Lindia can answer, she will. If it's questions for me, I will answer. I hope you have a sense that we are a team now and that you look forward, even though this is really, it's like day one, session one in workshop mode. The first session is always a little bit uncomfortable. And unfortunately, I can't say now go for tea break and then we start to chat more, but I hope you have a virtual tea where you are. And next time, I hope we will just jump in and feel very comfortable. Thank you very much, guys, for your patience, and Lindia for all your technical assistance. Have a lovely, lovely afternoon and take a break.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, you guys. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Take care. Nice. It was really nice to see you. Ciao, ciao. From Africa to Africa. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You leave.